Hi, you're listening to God, Ghosts, and Government, a weekly conversation with Senator Kim Jackson, where she'll reflect on her journey as an Episcopal priest, farmer, legislator, and much more. I'm your host, Shereetha J, and I'm honored to share this space with you. Let's begin. Hey, it's your girl Shereetha J, and we're back for your favorite weekly recap, God, Goats, and Government. Hey, Senator Jackson, how are you?
Hey, it's Friday, and I know people don't hear this until Tuesday, but it's Friday, and I'm glad for that. I'm waiting. Qualifying ends at 12:01 or 12 o'clock today, and it's not quite that time, so I'm really just kind of waiting for qualifying to close. And I can explain what that is in a moment, but all that is that it's Friday. I'm glad it's Friday, and I am looking forward to a weekend.
Well, you already know I had questions that what does it mean for one to qualify? Because you are qualified, as we know. We hear it week after week. So what does it mean for one to qualify on today?
Yeah, so qualifying as a concept when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
elections is where you come down to the Capitol and you pay your party of choice. So if you're running as a Democrat, you pay the Democratic Party of Georgia. The qualifying fee is $400 for a state legislator runs, and you sign some paperwork, say this is who I am, and swear that you are in it to have your name on the ballot. Pay your $400 and you walk away. And so people have a week, so Monday through Friday until 12, to state, kind of put their stake in the sand and say, I'm running or I'm not running. And
Okay.
I qualified on Monday, but
Okay.
we are always waiting to see how many challengers, if any, you might have. And so I think everybody's
Hmm.
kind of on pins and needles waiting for 12 o'clock.
So you telling me I can come on down. I have a few minutes. I can come on down to qualify.
You sure can. Just make sure you qualify for the district you actually live in. That is an important um, key in this process. One that's
Hmm.
gonna trip some people up. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Well, we're excited that you are have officially qualified for this year. I wish that I was still in District 41. You certainly would have my vote, but um, I know the good people of District 41 will be served well, and that you're gonna do what you need to do to campaign and continue to get your name out there as we move forward past this legislative session, but we're in the legislative session right now. So what's happening? We're just a week or so removed from crossover day. What's going on under the gold dome this week?
Yeah, so actually not a lot in terms of on the floor. We had, crossover day, almost did Sunny Die. Felt it's like a tiny Sunny Die, right? We had crossover day last week, as we talked about, and then this week it's been, pretty chill. We've had a lot of committee meetings.
Hmm.
Committee meetings of interest to folks might be that there was a special investigation committee that met, and they subpoenaed Ashley Merchant, the attorney that is she's a defense attorney in the Trump case.
Hmm.
She's
Hmm.
not Trump's defense attorney, but she is one of the ones in that whole case. So the Senate passed this weird bill early on that created a special investigation committee where they have subpoena power, which is not normal.
Okay.
And they're investigating Fani, but it's weird. Anyway, they had a 3 hour long hearing this week. That was probably the
3 hours?
yeah. So that was probably the most eventful thing that happened all this week, honestly, was that kind of long interrogation of Miss Ashley Merchant and her allegations as to there being a conflict with the DA, Fonnie Willis, and the special prosecutor, Nathan Wade.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can go ahead and tell you, well, that might be the most exciting thing that happened from as far as on the floor and just under the gold dome. But I just remembered something pretty significant. Can you believe that this is going to be our 50th episode?
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like we should have like some balloons go off,
Yeah, hold on, hold on. let's see. Hold on. What is it? I
I think if
can't.
you you thumbs up, there we go.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Mine doesn't. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, when Sharitha does a thumbs up, she gets fireworks in the background of her Zoom. Mine does not work that way, but yeah, we got some fireworks going. That's awesome.
Yes, 50 episodes of, these conversations and really sitting down and reflecting on what's happening. And at this point, it feels like riding a bike, but can you think of anything that you've been surprised by with this process of just doing God, goats, and government?
Yeah, I think we started with a small idea that we didn't necessarily know what we were doing, and it's kind of evolved over time. There was an article written about our podcast the very first year, God, Ghosts, and Government, and somebody said it was something like, part insider politics slash therapy
Mm-hmm.
for Senator Kim Jackson. It was funny. And I think that it has been therapeutic in a way that I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting, that I wasn't anticipating. I go back and listen to pods just randomly sometimes, and it's been cool to see kind of my own evolution and knowledge and in this process. But also, to think back just this season alone, I remember the first two pods that we did where I was really down. And to, be just in a completely different place now, not necessarily because the session has gone better. I
Mm-hmm.
had some wins, right? Like I had a trifecta where I had three bills in a row, and I'm still have a bill that's alive on the House side that we're still pushing and we're very optimistic about. But um, just other things I think just shifted. And I was glad to
Mm-hmm.
have that archive. You talk about this pod as an archive. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been good to have that archive to be able to reflect back on. And yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
really grateful. And it's helped me stay connected with so many people that I wouldn't otherwise be connected to. And I love the shout outs. I love, like, I have some college friends who listen to the pod, and it's fun when I get random text messages from them about a podcast. So it's been good.
That's great. No, no, this is, on occasion, because I have the opportunity to do the post production and listen to, I feel like I listen to the episodes multiple times. I still catch something or learn something from this process. I know I've grown just in my understanding of what's happening under the Gold Dome, and I hope that that has transferred to our listeners as well. I mean, I can say with confidence what crossover day is. I also can speak to what Sunny Die was. I had no idea what those things were, and when you initially asked to say, "Hey, let's try something. Let's try this thing," and to your point, we had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. You were sworn in, and I mean, even think about when you were sworn in and how that process started. This was still very much so at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and so much has changed. And so it's interesting, very interesting to see. The last thing I'll say on this is that one of our listeners and parishioners, Cindy, um she said she had questions. She always has questions, which is it's fun because it's like her direct plug. I know this podcast is happening, but I found in having a conversation with her that I lead with intention, both as your colleague and friend, because those tough weeks that you talked about, I've had certain reels and things that were ready to go. And I recognize that, people may not know, like you were getting trolled in some of those times. It was really harsh, and like making decisions to not post certain clips or share certain aspects of our episode as to really, as I was sharing this information with Cindy, she said, "You know what? You protect her. You look out for her." And I paused. I said, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I care about Senator Kim Jackson. I care about Kim Jackson." So it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's been unexpected in that way. So yeah, 50 episodes. Thanks
Well,
for the
well,
growth.
thank you. I'm tearing up a bit. I'm a bit emotional about it because I'm very grateful for the protection, not just from you, but there's a whole staff of folks that you work with to make sure that, I'm aware of some of the trolling that happens insofar as I just see that comments have been hidden or I see when things are kind of when you're being trolled, it kind of happens a lot, right? I see the alerts
Hmm.
that are popping up and you and my chief of staff, Aaron, especially both of you
Yeah.
all really have kind of shielded me from a lot of that. And I've been very grateful for that. And somebody said to me the other day, like, it was just like, you have no idea how many little elves are moving in the background to make sure that you look good, that you sound good, that you don't hear all the craziness that is around you. And I'm glad to be oblivious to it. But I'm not oblivious. I know that it is happening, and it certainly I have an immense amount of gratitude to all of the folks who are helping to make sure that I have the emotional and spiritual reserve to do this work. And part of that does mean shielding me from some of the arrows that are coming at me. And also, Trina, when I first got elected, Trina immediately reached out to a number of women friends that we have, different faiths, different customs, but all friends. There's a kind of a intimate circle. And she asked them to pray for me. And she's like, these are going to be your spiritual warriors who are just creating some spiritual defenses around you. Because I think Trina understood more than I even did at that time what just what a challenge this would be to my spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of qualifying, I have a colleague who's not running again this year, and it's actually like funny how we came to know this. So we knew she was unhappy. She's actually on a different side of the aisle, but she's still a friend and a colleague. I knew she was unhappy here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so on the last day of qualifying today, she brought her husband, and a lot of people bring their family with them when it's time to qualify. And when it was time to sit down in the seat to qualify, her husband sat down instead of her. And he qualified. And it's all because this colleague is done. It's just hard. It's emotionally hard, you know, especially on the side of the aisle that she's on. I know she has had to take some votes that she didn't want to take.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, it's been challenging. She has a family, she's got children that she drives back and forth to every single day. There's no question about that. She was trolled significantly during the off season, especially, and so she's just done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I get that. I understand throwing that kind of hat,
Yeah.
out of the ring. I get it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the reason why I could sit down on Monday and sit down in that chair and qualify is because of people like you, Shereetha. People who
Mm-hmm.
have really rallied around me and helped me know that I don't do this by myself. I don't do this in a bubble. And I don't do this for myself. I do this for our people. So I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
Well, it is an honor, really and truly. And we give thanks for such a mighty team and for your constituents, because look, they are the ones who put you there.
That's right.
You have to cast the ballot, the vote. So um speaking of, was it not the cab day under the gold dome this week? We must shout out.
Yes. Yes, happy to cab day. That was on, I don't know, that was this week. The CEO on a day this week. The CEO, the commissioners came out. I think probably almost every elected official in DeKalb County came down. Sherry Boston, the DA, who is a dear friend of mine. I have so much respect for her. She was in the house. Yeah, just tons and tons of DeKalb electeds and constituents from DeKalb were present. So we had a lovely celebration. We had the best chicken wings I've had all session long.
Whoa. See, that's where that should have been at the top of the episode. Now, I know this is your podcast, but the foodie in me needs to know when you were coming across such.
It was I have to find out where they came from. They really were the best chicken wings that I've had all season long. And Erin made me a plate because I did have to speak as the chair of the delegation. And I
Hmm.
like, she gave me like two chicken wings or whatever. It was an appropriate amount. But I was like, these are so good. Can I have some more? And she's like, girl, them things long gone. um, ain't no more. So yeah,
Let me
no,
go
that
ahead and
happened.
I'm gonna go ahead and message Aaron myself. I'm going to the source.
Find out where those were. Also, Sharitha, we got a shout out from the mayor. The mayor of Atlanta, came down not for the cab day, but for I guess his little annual visit, and
Hmm.
he spoke in the Senate to the Assembly and gave us Common Ground a shout
Wow.
out specifically for our work with the melody. He was aware of it, and he even quoted the statistics. He was like, um, 25% of the people who live at the Melody are members of Senator Jackson's congregation, the Church of the Common Ground. So that was super cool. I was not really expecting that kind of shout out. I mean, I knew it was on the front page, but I never expect that kind of thing. So that was really awesome. And it made my colleagues aware. A lot of my colleagues didn't know about the work that you and I do and that we do with our team. And so that was really great. And then one other thing I want to make sure we highlight,
Yes.
Reese, my baby boy, had the opportunity to meet Dr. Jill Biden.
I was waiting for the update. How was it?
It
We
it was a bit of a circus. It was a little wild. I'll have to send you the photo so you can see. But we practiced in the car on the way multiple times. I wanted him to say, "Hello, Dr. Biden." Um, and he did it. It was really noisy and loud, so I don't know if she heard it, but I heard it. I was beaming proud.
Oh my
Also,
goodness.
let me tell you, I have learned a new thing about being a mom that was shocking to me. So it is a Women's for Biden event. And,
Hmm.
Reese is 3. He's small. He can go under the ropes and all those things that they have for
Yes.
security, right? So I sit him down because he also weighs like 35 pounds and that makes me tired. So I put him on the floor and I'm like, stay right here. And he does that for like the length of time that you would expect of a 3 year
Two
old.
seconds.
And then he's just off. He is moving and he is moving toward it's really the teleprompters that have captivated him. And so he is like making a beeline to them and he has to go through like a crowd of women to get there. Like this is not an easy journey for me as a full grown adult. But for him as a 3 year old, he's just like bobbing and weaving right on three. And I'm trying to get to him and I'm like tapping the women in front of me and being like, hey, grab him, grab him. Nobody would stop him. Nobody. So he gets all the way up to the last like velvet ropes between, the people and the teleprompters. And there's a Secret Service officer standing there, like with his arms kind of across his chest. And he just makes eye contact with Reese. He doesn't move, he doesn't flinch, he just makes eye contact and Reese stops long enough,
Wow.
long enough for me to finally like get there and grab him. Like,
Oh my goodness.
why didn't anybody stop him? And I have a friend though. I have a friend who was like, "Yeah, we saw him. We figured it would be really cute if he was up there. It'd be a great photo opportunity." I'm like, oh.
But if anyone would make it, I feel like it would be Reese. So,
He would have
wow.
hammed it up if he had gotten to Dr. Biden, especially like
Oh
if she had
my.
picked him up, it would have been a beautiful photo op because he is like such a ham.
Oh
Um,
my
but
gosh.
I was I was surprised by how many grown women just let this little
He's safe. He's fine.
toddler on by right on up to the stage. It was really funny.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Wow. Well, that I'm looking forward to seeing those photos. I did see that, Reese joined you at the Capitol this week and had his puzzle pieces out. And I'm just waiting, you know, as his TT, I need to make my way across so we can do a puzzle together because he's having all the fun under the gold dome
He
this
is,
session.
yes, he is enjoying the people's house for sure.
So
Uh, so,
he's
hey, look, I'm in my office and I have like
hmm
some other things I need to do, so we need to roll off. But
hmm
I'm ready to make an announcement.
Okay, let's do
If
it.
you are ready to receive the announcement, are we ready?
Let me get myself together.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So in mid-April of this
hmm
year, in about, I don't know, a little bit more than a month from today, Trina and I will take a trip up to Indiana. And if all goes well, as we say nation times, the people willing and God consenting, or God willing and the people consenting, Trina and I will receive a newborn baby boy who is Reese's biological brother.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
yes, 9 months after being mommies to Reese, we will be mommies to Reese and his little brother. Um,
Wow. Another
so
little boy?
his little boy, and we're excited, and it's also heartbreaking at the same time. We're very mindful of the circumstances around which this is happening. But if all of the legal things work out, and as we believe they will, and that his mom is able to have a healthy and safe delivery, his biological mother, then Trina and I will become the guardians of a baby, an infant, which is wild,
A
and
whole baby.
a whole
This is
baby. So yeah,
new adventures. This is
yeah.
exciting. Oh my goodness. So you
Glad
just
you're
don't know how to
excited.
take a break. You don't know how to take a break because the last day, if I'm not mistaken, we conclude session in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Signing die is on its way just before Easter
Monday.
Sunday. So
Hey, listen, here's the thing. I need people who are out there who are praying people. We need to pray that this baby fully goes the full term because you're correct. Signing day is not until March 28th. So the soonest that I really would like to leave, obviously, if baby's born before then, I will have to stop doing the people's business for a moment, and I think the people will be very understanding of that. But we would prefer to finish the business of the people before we make that trek up to Indiana. So this is the first time we're really talking about this in public. We've been kind of holding this very close to the chest as all of these things work out, and also being really sensitive to the biological family and recognizing that this is a huge decision for them to make, and want to honor the space and the privacy that they are deserve, but. We are close enough now to the process that, quite frankly, Shereetha, I need you to come to a baby shower. Um, so
well, I got the diapers and
yeah,
I'm on I look, we this is wow. Now this is how you make an announcement. This is how you do a 50th episode. What a great way to conclude in such beautiful news to share. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Trina. Congratulations to your family as it continues to grow. And just blessings as always.
well, thank
Blessings.
you. As the godmother of Reese, and you will be expected to have those same responsibilities of this new one.
I got
Which,
two from
yeah,
you too. I like my duties are expanding.
they're
All
doubling, they're
right.
doubling. So, but
Indeed.
well, thank you. One day we'll take time on the pod to tell a whole backstory about really how you helped make this happen. So, but until then, I got some work to do. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, let's close this thing out. You have been listening to another fantastic episode of God, Goats, and Government.
until next time, continue to like, subscribe, and share this great pod with others. Happy 50th anniversary on the pod, Shereetha. Thank you so much for being a part of that.